of poverty in Black households is having kids. And that really should not come as a surprise. And y'all know that I've been on this app saying only have the number of kids that you, as a woman, can afford to bring into this world. Because the quickest way for you to be poor is to have a baby, right? Even with two households, a two-parent household, the quickest way for a two-parent Black household to go into poverty, have babies. Generally speaking, one, I've said before, people will help you with. Two, we are going to side-eye you. Three, as a single parent, we're looking at you like you should have learned on the first one, right? So as a woman, you have to be mindful that the number one way to be poor is to have a baby. And then to have a baby by a man that can't afford to send you child support, double whammy.
So this lady said the number one cause of poverty in Black households is children. Let me say this, man. I'll just speak on this, and I ain't gonna be long on this neither. Hit the link in the description and join the Patreon. That's a lie. Most women will be poor. If they will be homeless if they didn't have children. They wouldn't have that Section 8. They wouldn't have that welfare. They wouldn't have that WIC. Food stamps. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for children, they wouldn't even have women's shelters for women. They have all these programs for women because by default, women end up with the child. Now, when you start talking about fathers that have to raise their sons or their daughters or their children, they don't have. You can't even name a program off the top they got for them. Most women are not homeless. The women that's not, homeless or selling their bodies on the street homeless, they would be ass out. Most of these people feel bad for these women. They give them money. How many times we seen women get online crying about how they homeless and they done fucked their money up and, the child support ain't enough and they like the baby daddy should pay the rent and pay all her bills. Why should he pay our bills? And she fucked the money up. It was a woman, I seen it on World Star, and they raised $50,000 to get her and her children out of poverty. And she talking about she gave the $50,000 to her child father and now she broke again. That bitch scamming. They always get on the internet begging. Y'all think the way they beg these niggas on the internet, they be begging, oh, I fell off, this, that, and the third happened. And no, these bitches going to Chris Brown concerts. They traveling, going to Dubai, living their best life, maxing out credit cards, making bad financial decisions, leaving their kid with anybody that'll watch their kid. Come on, man. And the only reason they continue to get bailed out, most of them, is because they women. My mom said as long as a woman got a vagina, she have a place to stay. Shit was a lot hilarious, but it's true in most cases, right? You see a lot of dudes say, ooh, look at that homeless lady with a fat ass. I can save her and fuck your whole life up. Or they women or they got children, and most likely it's the children. People feel bad for the children, so they give them money. They be living in the cars, living in the hotel. It was another lady. I got to put that clip in there. I'm going to talk about that in the second half of the video. I'm going to get to her. But most women ain't homeless, on the street, sleeping, dead ass broke because they got children. People lend them money, get them a place to stay, get them food. I remember I worked I was in my 20s. I was working security. I had a little job at the office where they get a DHS office or whatever they call it, where they give people the social workers and WIC. Remember this woman came in, we about to close in 30 minutes, right on Grand River and Greenfield, that building right next to that Thomas Edison school, whatever the school called. She's I'm homeless and I got kids, and I'm paraphrasing. They filled her card, her food stamp card up, her cash balance card up. They filled all that shit up in the last 30 minutes, bruh. Most women ain't sent themselves to the upper room. Most women got a cot to sleep on, a bed to sleep on. Most women, people feel bad for them because they got children. Children is the number one reason most women got a place to stay. They got Section 8, WIC. Most people feel bad, raise money. Without them children, these women would probably be in the upper room. It wouldn't be no women's shelter if it wasn't for the kids. It wouldn't be shit for them. It's because of the kids. And then y'all justify when they put leave their kids at the fire department. Y'all justify that shit. Y'all justify it. Just to keep it a bean, y'all justify it. Y'all justify that shit. You know? Y'all justify it. Shit sad. That ain't the reason why you broke. It's people who don't even have kids and still in the same financial decision if they had kids. The reason people broke is because they don't know how to manage money. They don't want to show up to work. They lazy. Most of the people don't even want to go to work. You see a lot of these women go to work with or without kids. They don't show up to work. They get drunk. They miss days. And then when they get fired, they want to call, I'm a black woman and do this. No, you got to show up. They come to on a job lazy, on the phone all day. Let's keep it a bean. People broke because they lack ambition. They lack discipline. They lack structure. Your kids ain't the reason you broke. A lot of these people, kids, is the reason they still alive and people got sympathy on them. Get out of here with, man, these bitches stay going on the internet lying.
This is him walking off, choosing them over us because he don't want to live in a hotel. Sellout. While my daughter is here sticking by my side with all my stuff out here. And we have an Uber coming to take us to a hotel. He chose them. I understand he doesn't want to go through the struggle. But for him to not come out here and check on his mother and his sister, whatever. Keep that same energy. Look at them. They don't care about us. Transmission went out on this car. I have an 8-year-old type 1 diabetic. It's okay. Our Uber is on the way. You see how they don't care? Because she tells him what to do. She tells Steve what to do. He can't even care about me or his granddaughter. He ain't our real dad anyway. So I don't care.
Man, I forgot. I'm glad I had to remember this. This video, I didn't even think about it. I had this video in my mind, but I didn't even think to use it. So you had this chick. Now, I don't know if this was Skip. She got mad at her son because he didn't want to struggle and be homeless with them. So he chose to go stay with his grandparents and leave his mama and his sister with his grandma. Now, I'm assuming, knowing these new age families, that the son and the daughter had two different daddies probably. And his grandparents probably say, you can come over here. And they was in the comment section talking about, ooh, that little girl really want to go with him. So I'm assuming, because if the grandparents took him in, if they had the same daddy, he was going to take the little girl in too. So I'm assuming that. And she get on the internet, and I'm hoping this is Skip, talking about, yeah, he don't want to struggle with us, and he's selling us out, and he don't want to stay with us and struggle and do it. And like, no, who want to struggle? Who want to live in a car, live in a hotel? Instead of doing what's right and giving them to the daddy or encouraging him to go with the grandparents and get yourself together, why do women want the kids to suffer? Because that's how selfish they are. And just think about it. They don't even think about the guy that they have a baby with, the best candidate that you have a baby with for your children. My rule of thumb is this. The woman that I want to have my child, that's how I want my daughter to grow up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want my son to be proud of his mother. How respectable she is, how nice she is, how she speaks, how articulate she is, how she care about education, the femininity, the loving, the caring, all those type of things. And women should do the same when it comes to a man. But no, they want to get the worst type of niggas and try to change them and try to break them like a wild fucking horse, and it never works. And then they will be like, well, I don't trust my kids with him. Oh, I don't, but you trusted him to shoot the club up. You trusted to fuck with him. to fuck him. You trusted to suck his Peter Pan. Shut up. You a selfish ass woman. And that ain't what I really wanted to say. But you a selfish woman if you want your children to be homeless and suffer when you can give them to the other parent. And if a lot of y'all was better women, that man will let you come back. If you want to, but women, they unruly. Most women unruly. They don't respect nobody because their mama didn't respect nobody. Right? And they go live with their baby daddy. They do what they want to do. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do none of that. But then they want to blame men. Oh, he's too controlling. He's not too controlling. He wasn't too controlling when he was hitting you from the buzzat. And I remember Adrian James, he's a Hall of Fame running back, played for the Colts. And his high school, one of the high schools wanted him to move out there. He had to move there with one of the coaches to be eligible to play. And his grandmother or his mother was like, no, you don't get to leave. You don't get to leave. You got to struggle right here with us. What type of selfish shit is that? What type of selfish shit? When you talking about your kids got to suffer when and everybody got to suffer. What if he got on and was like, oh, no, I got on. Y'all got to figure it out on your own. Just think about the mindset of some shit like that. Your kid can get into a better situation and experience better things in life, but you say, nah, we all got to suffer. What type of motherfucker is that? If the best option is for you, until you get on your feet, is for your kid, to go stay with a grandparent or a mother or their father. And the whole thing, well, I don't trust the father with my kid. You trusted him to fuck you, to shoot up the club. You trusted to lay in his bed. You trusted him in your house. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention in this particular video. I know how these women be, y'all baby mamas be and shit. They be having all types of niggas in y'all house that did all types of shit. They had records, past. This is why so many young girls and boys get touched by dudes. They have all these weird niggas in their house. They just met at the club. They met online. Don't know nothing about this nigga for real. And they children, they be getting clapped and they children be in the next room. They be getting hit on the couch and the kid playing the game with the door open. But you talking about you don't trust the father. Bitch, you are untrustworthy. And back to my original point, that's why most of these women will be poor. They wouldn't even be on this earth without their children, bro. People spare these women because of their children, bro. And that's just the God honest truth. But I appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.